You know, I think you bring up some really good points because, for one, anger comes from a place of shame a lot of times. When you are being shamed, that's how that rage comes out in you, right? And then another part of, a lot of times we come in, immigrants, we're coming from really bad situations, third world countries, all these things, right? So we just happy to be here. So when you just happy to be here because it feels like a better life, right? You willing to accept the oppression, the situation that is bad, but that doesn't make it right. It may be better from where you came from, but it doesn't make it right though. And then you allow these injustices to happen to you and your people.
You say, so then, right, you start making that change, right? Because it's better, I rather the bottled water than the water that ran through the river in my village.
Mm.
I rather the can than the mango. I'd rather do what they do and hustle like they do and get into the rat race than live like the human that I did. Instead of fighting for my country to get the economy and what they needed and fight the oppression to make America stand up, the richest country in the world, and help our country fight the cancer they gave us called gangs. When my kids went over there with a dream and you tattooed them and you put them in the ghetto and you lie to them, then you send them back sick and they spread that cancer in my country. And then you tell me that El Salvador was born like that. That's an American cancer, not an Ecuadorian one, not an El Salvadorian one. It was made in America in the slums. We traded in for the American dream. The humanity of the family and the village in a simple dirt road is shameful to the American capitalistic dream of comfort, running water, and safety, right? Safety, preached by fear. And that's what I'm saying to the immigrant. Forget the bullshit. You could come here and still be you. Go to Alaska. Go to Hawaii. Go to places where the American culture has tried to fight and they hold on to their culture by any means necessary. So their kids know where they came from and that the American capitalistic cannot erase culture, history, and tradition. That's what you fight for. That's the pursuit of happiness. Not the fucking riches and the biggest TV. And I'm really, and I love to shine. I love to eat. I want to be good, but I want to be free. You know, I can't get chained by this shit because I was in a 6x12 cell. That's what they do when you chase the American dream. You slip up, it all turns into a nightmare. And that's what we got to teach our kids, decision making in these young ages. We are responsible to cultivate their minds and show them the real value of life. That's our obligation. The ghetto will change in a day if the community and us united under that first obligation to raise our young to be successful. Not for us to have to give them things to feel successful. Values, love, understanding, and identity of who you are and why you're here. That's what separates us from animals. We know we're here. So imagine a human that doesn't know who he is and where he is. Of course he's in jail. Nobody ever told him why, how, and when you were here and why you have to pursue happiness. And that's what I'm about, brother. And that was my young identity. That was my struggle. I was so confused of who I was that I became everybody until I became me. And when I found me, King Tone was a vicious motherfucker. You couldn't fuck with him because he had his foundation built. He knew who he was and he knew who he wasn't. You know, and he knew where he failed and he knew where he made it, but he knew he was a person who had culture, identity, and good parents that tried their best. It's time to fight. It's time to stop sucking on the pacifier and having excuses to be on the corner, son. Get up, grab them, hold them, and then fight. And then when I seen the community and the music change and us get our pride back, it changed my life. You know what I mean? It made me want to be Lolita LeBron. It made me want to be an activist. It made me want to be Puerto Rican. It didn't make me want to be raising and go, oh, on Puerto Rican Day. It made me want Monday through Friday to figure out, how do I free Puerto Rico? How do I bring the message of the oppression? Because that's my job as a Puerto Rican, is to free Puerto Rico, my homeland. See? Now I had a mission. How could I screw up my life if I have a mission?
Because you had purpose at that point.
There you go.